This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by heavyweight contender Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Jarrell, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. A little busy, on the move as usual, but feeling great.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Now, your name's come up a lot recently. You're no stranger to the headlines, of course, but once again in
hmm
connection with Anthony Joshua, and that's probably not been the case for the last couple of years. He's in need of an opponent for the summer, August, preferably. They're looking at maybe September. How keen are you to put your hat in the ring and be the man that gets that shot? It nearly happened once before, of course.
hmm I mean, most definitely. I love nothing more than knocking Anthony Joshua out. But once you understand that, there's been talks of Tyson Fury as well too, and he has a belt. Anthony Joshua is no longer a champion. So for real, honestly, putting up my undefeated record against a guy that don't really have nothing really to offer other than the money, I'd rather go for the belt. But at the same time, there's some bad blood there. I would love to finish, knock him the fuck off. You know what I mean? But when Eddie Hearn hears my name, he runs like a girl with his tail between his legs all the time. So I feel if Anthony Joshua wants that fight to happen, it's gonna have to be his call. It can't be Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? And plus, they're looking for easy fights. Let's be honest. AJ don't want. He's not looking for no. He's not looking for any fighter that really has a heartbeat at this point. So he's probably going to take another two more bums or guys we never even heard of before he really steps back into, the big names again. And him fighting Deontay in December, I can tell you right now, quote me on this right now, he's not fighting Deontay. That's all smoke, to keep his name in the headlines. Anthony doesn't want no parts of Deontay Wilder. So let's get that clear for facts. But like I said, I'm here for him, but we're going to see.
You said Eddie Hearn's running like a girl from the fight. We've spoke to him this week. He's in New York, of course, for Berlanga against Quigley, and he's ruled it out as you would expect. How much of that do you think is down to your past and the reasons the first fight never happened, and how much of it do you think it is avoiding a tough challenge?
Most of it's definitely avoiding a tough challenge. Some of it got to do with my past, but you got to understand that, even me and Chris Algieri was talking about it the other day. And he has a PhD in sports medicine. When people actually understand what really happened in the past, it's bollocks, and you got to really dig into it and do your homework. A lot of media people don't do their homework on what's happening. You know what I'm trying to say? But like I said, Eddie, Eddie's a hypocrite, if not one of the biggest promoter hypocrites in the sport of boxing. And look at all the fighters that he promoted that had problems with drug testing. Even the last guy he had, can't remember his name right now,
Conor
but
Benn?
Conor Benn. If you study these compounds, it's a lot worse than whatever I got in trouble for. But when you have the biggest mouth in the room and a big media presence, you can get ahead of the game, and that's what Eddie Hearn always does. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like I said before, when you have a powerful promoter, things can happen. But is it really coming down to what happened in the past? There's a ton of shit that happened in the past. Look where Canelo was and where he's at now. So it's about him wanting to make the fight and not making excuses. But we all know that AJ is one leg away from getting retired and not being talked about no more. You know what I'm trying to say? So at the same time is he doesn't have any more golden goose. Canelo's going to PBC. David Haney's leaving. So it's the only person he really has left right now is AJ that can really, put asses in seats. So he's gonna do anything to protect that. But at the same time, don't talk about fighting top name guys. You got top name guys coming out that want the fight. You don't want that smoke, which is understandable. But don't bluff people because you're gonna get called out on it.
And with everything you've learned about your own case over the last few years and speaking to Chris Algieri, who's obviously a very educated man in that area, what can you now tell us about the test failures that you experienced?
Oh man, it's heartbreaking. You trust certain people to do their due diligence. You know, not still you got to double check, triple check. You got to be in contact with VADA and these companies because even the year that I failed for whatever G1516, that name wasn't even on their list. So even if they put things on their, even if there's not things that's labeled under website or on the list and you still fail for it, it's your fault. So there's a lot of gray area, you know what I'm trying to say, for, as an athlete. And that's something that I've been working on through. I'm working something through my charity. And one of these foundations as well too that I've been trying to put together the last couple of years or so is that there has to be more clarity with this drug testing stuff, because hey, a lot of stuff can have been avoided too. But like, there's nobody really helping fighters up. Like, either you have a big team behind you that got money that can guide you through this stuff and help you get to the right doctors. You know what I'm trying to say? So you have to have the proper team behind you with the proper education, or at least tell fighters exactly this is what's going to happen. They don't do that stuff. You know what I mean? So I had to learn on my own the hard way.
How much does it still kind of hurt your feelings that the stigma of drugs in sport or drug cheating is attached to you, regardless of you knowing the truth?
Yeah. I mean, it's what it is, man. I'm from fucking Brooklyn, man. You know what I mean? Anybody can talk shit. I've seen people get shot in the head in front of me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, one of my guys, you know, he's in jail for murder, and he called me a couple years back. We talk every now and then, you know, and he says, bro, like, I know you're not crying over this crap. You know, we got dudes in here that's locked up 25 to life. You know what I mean? You didn't kill nobody. You didn't hurt nobody. You got to just bounce it off and brush it off. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, that kind of made a perspective to me was like, you know, if you do good, they talk about you. They do bad, you talk about you. You know what I'm trying to say? And I grew up rough anyway. So if you're going to talk shit about me, you can suck my dick. I don't give a fuck anyway. You know what I mean? When we get that boxing ring, all the excuses out the window. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about in the past. But when we get in that ring, it's still going to be me and you. You know what I'm trying to say? Tyson Fury had their situation. They bounced back from it. You know what I mean? So everybody had their situation, you know, throughout the years. It's how you deal with it and coming back to the top. That's how I look at it.
You had around 4 years out of the ring for various reasons. How would you compare Jarrell Miller now to the one that was blasting through the division 4 years ago?
You know, right now it has to be a lot more strategical, you know, because we can't waste any time. We gotta take the right fights. Um, you know, I'm putting together a really strong team behind closed doors. You know, things are almost finalized. And like I said before, it's still kind of quiet right now, but I do believe in the next 2 or 3 months, you're gonna see a lot of big things with my name involved. And like I said, I'm just working. You know, I'm working on things in boxing, outside of boxing. But it just taught me to be a better businessman. Like I said before, unfortunately in America, um, boxers don't have the financial backing or the structure of like a lot of other countries do. You know what I'm trying to say? So you're out here fending on your own and kind of figuring it out until you get to a certain position in your career, you know.
And you mentioned Tyson Fury earlier. Are there talks going on at the moment, or is it more that you know that he's looking for an opponent?
Yeah, there was some little talks going on before. I know he's looking for an opponent, but Tyson is a funny guy, and everybody knows I love Tyson, but he has to make up his mind. He said nobody wants to fight him, and that's bullshit. A lot of people want to fight him. I want to fight him, but he got the belt, so he's a man in the seat now. So you gotta just be like, yo, pick somebody out the hat and let's fight. You know what I mean? You can't constantly keep saying nobody want to fight, and nobody wants to fight. That's nonsense. So, but end of the day, it's left up to him to pick the opponent. So, he can say nobody wants to fight, but there's a lot of guys that want to fight. Now it's picking the right fighter that can generate money and talk that shit and do what they do. Ain't nobody else other than me, really. You know what I mean? Point blank, period. So if he just wants to fight, he get a fight. If he wants the right fight that could put asses in seats, then that's the Big Baby Miller fight.
Do you think there could be a concern among promoters that they could sign you for a fight and then it could collapse a few weeks before, as it did with Joshua? I know it was a long time ago, but could that be
Yeah.
in the back of their
I mean,
minds?
no, definitely not, because I got two. I've been on VADA for 2.5 years. I was on VADA basically 2 years. I mean, I had no problems. I had no hiccups. And like I said, now I understand the process of getting ready for testing. Kind of get screening on your own in a way, because it's like, you gotta understand something. There's no other laboratories in the world that I've ran into right now, still looking at right now, that do the kind of testing that VADA do. You know what I'm trying to say? So now you're testing for something that nobody other companies can test for, and you're testing on a nanogram level for something that doesn't do anything for you. So people don't even know what nanograms are. Like I had to look that shit up because that's what was in my system was nanograms. 0.3 of a nanogram. There's like 5 million nanograms in 1 gram. I got 0.3 of a nanogram. So you think about it, what the fuck is that gonna do for a guy? Nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? So you have to find a laboratory that can test for these nanogram level amounts, and it's totally impossible. So you're running around here party, drinking, having fun, hanging out for a week, going somewhere. You never know who touches you. You get testosterone levels left from people wrestling and sparring. So it's like I said before, it's a really gray area, man. It's a really effed up gray area. But you got to have the right team around you and the right people around you that can argue on your behalf. Because a lot of fighters have been busted behind closed doors that don't have a big name, but you never hear about it. But the big black guy, Big Baby, they want to throw me under the fucking bus. But like I said before, it is what it is.
Now, if we don't see you get that Tyson Fury fight, when can we expect to see you back in the ring?
Probably around end of August, September. Same timing. There's some talks again in Dubai. A lot of talking right now. But like I said, we're keeping our fingers crossed and seeing what Tyson Fury wants to do. But we're also not waiting for him either. So a lot of talking. But we're working. And like I said before, next 2-3 months we're gonna hear a lot of big news. And next 2-3 weeks we'll hear about the next fight for sure.
Awesome. Well, let's catch up again soon. Hopefully, for your sake, you get the Tyson Fury fight. But if not, let's catch up anyway and see what's going on.
Nah, sounds good, brother. Blessings.
Thank you. Take care.
Cool.
See you soon.